Hello, movie fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Entertainment with me, host Jonathan. Once again, bringing you my thoughts and movie review for the brand new, third film in the installment of Tron and Tron Legacy. Sorry, Tron Aries. Excuse me, Tron Legacy was the second one. So Tron Aries does star Jared Leto, Jeff Bridges. And this is apparently the third film in the franchise. Tell you the truth, no idea. I had no idea. I honestly thought Tron Legacy was like a reboot. I had no idea that the original Tron was like from the 80s. I think, yeah, from the 80s was the first movie in those movies. No idea. So the one from Tron Legacy, I thought that was the the one that gave us Daft Punk. I thought that was like the reboot. Then this was the sequel to that one. So, go figure. So, Tron Aries does star Jared Leto, and it tells the story of these two rival companies. One, which was founded by Jeff Bridges back in the 80s. He goes missing, obviously, because he's in the Tron world. Spoilers for the ending of those movies and the trailers for this, but he's in that world. And his company is now led by some new woman, and she wants to use the technology of making video games, but also making that virtual world into reality, so that way they can use that technology to help better the world, while the other company wants to use that technology to better his pocket. And that was this corporate guy. He's played by Evan Peters, so that's cool. And they bump heads. They want to see who can come up with the technology first. But the problem is the technology is there. It's just that they can't sustain it for too long. 29 minutes is what they can use. Unfortunately, the Tron characters inside the game or inside the world can only come into the real world for 29 minutes, which is Jared Leto's character and his partner, and their programs. And they can't stay in our world for too long. 29 minutes is all they get. Then they get digitized back into their original state back home. So, the good company, they figure it out. Although the boss from that company, she figures it out how to, sustain that technology and keep it a lot longer than 29 minutes in the real world. And of course, the bad guy, he wants it. And he sends Aries, which is Jared Leto, to go after her and try to take her out. So you get a kind of like a little Terminator kind of story here. You get a couple of other things in here as well. Look, honestly, I honestly thought, I'm not a huge fan of the Tron movies. I thought the first, the Tron Legacy, I think that's the one that gave us Daft Punk. I think that one was a good movie. I liked that movie. I saw that so long ago. I mean, I rewatched it recently, but still fine. I know that movie bombed years ago, but still, I don't know why they made another one, but whatever. And, I've recently watched the original, which I had no idea that was, like I said before, was linked to this at all. It was fine. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a huge Tron guy, so I really don't know too much about the lore. But the visuals in these movies are great. This movie's visuals are beautiful. Beautiful to look at. And I had fun with it. Honestly, like I said, I'm a fan of Jared Leto. I think he's a good actor. He has an Oscar in his mantle. He earned it. Obviously, he's great. Sure, he's got a couple of things that he's missed here and there. Sure. I love Morbius, so I'll always defend that movie. But, I think he was the main best part of this movie. The main bad guy thing to play Evan Peters was the actor's name. I think he's let me double check that. Excuse me. Gotta go to the internet to double check because sometimes you never know who's who. So yeah, let me double check that because sometimes you end up forgetting who it is, who's who. Bear with me, folks. Yeah, Evan Peters, yeah. Yeah, he's Quicksilver. Just wanted to make sure. From, the X-Men world. And the actress who plays the main girl, the main tech girl, Greta Lee, probably butchered, I apologize. I liked her too. She was a cool character. I liked her, she's the CEO boss, but she kind of does her own thing. She's supposed to be leading a company, but she has ideas in her head and trying to make the company even better by making this technology that they have to make it work even better to help the world. While the other company, which is run by Evan Peters, he wants to just, line his pockets. And even his whole CEOs are like, listen, this may not work. This could backfire on. He's like, nah, this is fine. So he's a typical twirling mustache kind of villain. So, whatever. But, honestly, and the actress who plays, Leto's partner, I can find her. She is Judy Turner Smith. Probably butchered that. She plays Athena. She was a badass. Gotta admit, she was a badass. I kind of wanted to see, kind of wish she was the antagonist a little bit more than Leto was, but still. Because when you watch this movie, you kind of figure out what's going to happen from the trailers. But still, visually is great. I love the bike scene. I thought that stuff was cool. The third act was great as well. I thought that stuff had a Terminator sci-fi war action scene kind of a thing going. So I thought that stuff was really cool. But for the most part, the story's kind of generic. It's not exactly like Shakespeare, in the modern days. So it's not going to win any Oscars there. And the music was great, but my only problem, big problem with the music was I felt like the music was put in scenes that was not necessary for those music. Because, when you get those heavy metal, boom, 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 kind of, scenes, those music scenes, you're like, okay, those are the action scenes. But sometimes they just put it behind as the, dramatic, moments in a movie. And they add those dramatic songs. It's kind of it kind of got a little derivative, a little bit in my opinion. But still, I had fun with this movie. Gotta admit, I'm going to spoil one thing here. If you don't want to know, I'm going to keep my hand up for the spoiler. I'll put it down when I'm done. If you don't want to know, turn away now. Just letting you know. Just in case you want to watch this movie. There's an after credit here. Not a huge after credit, but it's in the middle of the middle of the credits. This movie's not gonna get a third one. I'm just saying, or a fourth one if you count the original. So I was a little bummed out about that because I kind of had fun with this film. So I'm like, oh whatever, because it's it sets up something I guess for diehard hardcore Tron fans where we're like, that's that thing. So I was just like, oh, that's cool. I know what it meant, but I'm like, okay. And then I look at the box office for this movie. I'm like, yeah, this is not good. So just letting you know. So there you go. But overall, it was fun. It wasn't great, but I still had fun with it. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about Tron Aries. Are you guys looking forward to seeing this? Not looking forward to seeing this? You seen the original? Knew this was a continuation? Never knew that? Never seen any of them? Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good night.